Mustangs, Greg, or Chargers, sorry. The Chargers, the Burning Champion Chargers. This is a repeat of last year's matchup where Liberty Hill beat the Chargers 41-0. If you're just tuning in and think it's kickoff time, we've had some developments happen within the last hour that has caused the delay of this game. So tuning in if you're wondering why we're not kicking off right now. So here's what's happened. There was a delay of the equipment truck that had not only all the trainers' equipment in it for Liberty Hill, it also had all of the equipment for the football players, the shoulder pads and the helmets. The team has been here well over an hour, and the equipment has literally just arrived within the last 5 minutes. So what has had to happen is they've delayed the game from what we understand now to 7:20 start time. So the good news is the equipment's here. The bad news is every player and coach and trainer on Liberty Hill's sideline or on their team is currently scrambling, rushing to get their equipment on, to get out to the field, to get loosened up, to play this game. And Greg, tell me this is a disruption to their routine and could affect their momentum.
Anytime that you talk about, wanting to have a process and stick to it before you get out onto the field, coaches, I've had several coaches over my playing career that were, bound by schedules down to the minute. My college coach, down to the minute, our practices were, and your pregame was in a book, and so it was written, as they say, and so yeah, Tim, it does throw it into a little bit of a tailspin here, and that's going to be a job for these coaches to, adjust and make a pregame in-game adjustment and get these boys ready to go.
I don't like it, Greg, one bit. I talking to one of the longtime coaches here in San Antonio's area just a few moments ago, this is extremely disruptive to your team. Now, the players have been rushed on it to get their equipment on. They may not be all taped up properly and hooked up properly. And I even see a couple of guys running on the field, Greg, adjusting their shoulder straps.
I see them.
And Greg, I just don't like it. It makes me a little uneasy. Listen, I've been here. I have been here in the stadium since 4:30 today, and I got here ready to go. And if I had to rush, my routine would be disruptive, and I'm not playing a game. So again, if you're just tuning in, this game has been delayed to 7:20 kickoff because the Liberty Hills equipment truck with the football helmets and shoulder pads and equipment did not arrive until 10 minutes ago. And the players have had to rush to get all their equipment on. They will not delay this game further. And so Liberty Hill is basically paying the price right now for their equipment truck not arriving. And again, I don't know how else to spin it, that it could be disruptive, but there's also a possibility that it may have no effect whatsoever.
Interestingly, though, with all this extra time, it's 16 minutes to game time, 16:21, 5 after 7. We should be 5 minutes into the first quarter.
Right.
The Chargers nowhere to be found.
Well,
they're still in the locker room.
You were outside getting snacks, snow cones, and whatever else that you do. The team has already been out and done they've already done their entire routine. They don't need to be on the field. Coach is holding them back, trying to keep them in the routine. They've already done all their warm-ups, their special team warm-ups, all that kind of stuff. Now, Greg, one of the things right now is we sit 15 minutes from game time is Ethan Minix has not kicked. The punter has not kicked. These guys have not warmed up in their equipment. and could affect them during this game. Hope not. I'm just trying to lay out the storyline as it sits right now, that Liberty Hill's routine, their pregame routine, has been vastly disrupted going into this contest. Again, if you're just tuning in, expecting us to be calling the game and me to be yelling my head off, we have been in a delay of the game, 15 minutes now until kickoff. Liberty Hill's equipment truck did not arrive until about 10, 15 minutes ago, as I heard that they had a flat on the way here. Now, what I have heard, Greg, is routinely what happens to prevent things like this from happening, and I got this from a very reliable source, is typically the equipment truck leaves first, ahead of the buses. And if there were to something happen to the equipment truck, that the buses could stop, they could offload all the equipment, put it on the buses with the kids, and continue down the road. And they sync the routes. What I've heard through a reliable source is that the routes with the equipment truck and the players went two different directions.
Now, you said you made mention last week, even before we came down here. You called me and you said, hey, heads up, it's traffic's going to be terrible. It's going to be horrendous coming down here. And you're right. Not only is it in a bottleneck area here in San Antonio, it's a holiday weekend, like you mentioned. Yeah. And unfortunately, there were a few accidents on the way, and it was tough. It was tough to get here. So for them to go different routes, that's a unfortunate circumstance that has befallen the Panthers here before the game. But I have to say, I am shocked that the Boerne team they're going through the same disruption. Whether or not they've warmed up or not warmed up, they're still going through the same type of pregame disruption. And at least Liberty Hill here is in their pregame routine before kick. They might just stay right out. I don't even know if they're going to go back into the locker room.
They will not. No,
maybe they don't. They just stay right out here, and they're just ready to go.
They are not going. You're 100% right. They're not going back in the tunnel. They're going to stay out on the field. We're just they're adjusting some of the pregame stuff.
There's a pregame stuff going on, folks. On the right hand side of the field, there's looks to be maybe an exchange between schools or something like that. We can't hear the PA announcer too well, but they're talking about the kids are out there instead of midfield. They're kind of just off to the side. They're on the 40-yard line.
Right. Well, let's get down to some of our business now. Again, if you're just tuning in, we've delayed kickoff till 12 more minutes, 7:20, because the equipment truck that had the helmets and the shoulder pads and other equipment for Liberty Hill had a delay getting here. I hear it was a flat, and the team's been here well over an hour. Equipment got here about 15 minutes ago. They are going to start. Liberty Hill is out on the field rushing or trying to get through their warm-ups. However, let's move on. I do want to, first thing to business, want to welcome all you guys to the Vype Sports broadcast that is sponsored by the Liberty Hill Football Booster Club. That being said, I do my weekly routine to ask you to send me shout-outs. LHfootball21@yahoo.com. LHfootball21@yahoo.com. The Dyer clans, go ahead and start the process. Start the process of your shout-out so we can get you shouted out tonight. LHfootball21@yahoo.com. First one already is Ginger. Aunt Ginger she's doing something tonight but wanted to send me a message to let me know I want to get my shout-out in. She's number one.
Art class?
No, she's actually going to Winter Wonderland, she said. And, she lives in the southwest Houston area. But she's getting that in. She might be listening as she's singing Christmas carols or sitting in Santa's lap, something along those lines, Aunt Ginger. So we're waiting now for the first shout-outs from our wives to see if they're listening. my good friends Dan and Lil and Leander to see if they're listening. They may not be. They may be making pizza. And so, nonetheless, again, start your shout-out process for the evening. Now, last year, Liberty Hill in this exact same round beat Boerne Champion. Beat them 41-0, Greg. A pretty big spank down, and you know Champion is remembering that. Tell me what you think coaches have reminded these guys, these Chargers, going into this contest.
Well, not only has the coach reminded the team, but the coach has reminded his son. So they've been living together since that last loss. And I'm talking about head coach Keith Kaiser and his son, starting quarterback Carson Kaiser, who, this offense is going to run through Carson Kaiser when he drops back to pass. 1,700 yards passing. He's got 21 touchdowns. He's going to sling it. He's going to sling it all over the place. And you have to think that it might have come up a few times at supper.
Sure.
A chance to play the Panthers again. I'm sure as soon as the brackets came out, the writing was on the wall for these two teams to meet in this round. We're in the second round of Region 4 right now. Leander Rouse playing Floresville, Liberty Hill, and the Chargers here on this side. Alamo Heights against Austin McCallum, who won the first round matchup 27-21 over Leander Glenn. How about that, Tim? Impressive showing for the district.
Hey, I think Marble Falls won too, Greg.
Marble Falls,
three of the 4 teams, we call it a weak district. 3 of the 4 teams, I think, won their playoff matchup.
Now, Austin Travis went against one of the top seeds, Leander Rouse. So that's tough road to hoe there for any team. Travis was, finished 4th in the district. Good job for them to get some playoff experience on their roster. But I'm impressed that the McCallum Knights got out there, got after it. 27-21, beat Glenn, and they're on to the second round. So the winner of this game, head-to-head with Rouse, most likely. So, you start doing those things in your head when you're a player. You look ahead, you see it. So, that this game has been circled on all these guys. They beat them the year before. So, this is the 3rd year in a row they've gotten a chance to play in the playoffs. And 2 years ago, they were favored. And this Liberty Hill team, this was the under when Booster Cub President Sean Lapazinski talked about that Liberty Hill team brought a wrench to the playoffs and just started wrecking everybody's dreams, starting with these Chargers, because Liberty Hill was not meant to make as deep of a run as they did. But all these boys have not beaten the Panthers, and they're cracking at a chance to do it.
Absolutely. Now, again, Liberty Hill rushing through. Again, I know we're getting listeners tuning in at different times. I will repeat it again. I've done it like 3 times. Update you on what's going on. We have a delay in the start of this game. 7 minutes now until the scheduled kickoff time. Liberty Hill's equipment truck did not arrive until about 15, 20 minutes ago. They had a flat tire on the way. Their helmets, shoulder pads, and other equipment did not arrive with the football team. So they've had to rush to get going. This game will not be delayed any further. So we haven't had what typically we see with special teams going on and all that other kind of stuff. They have did some of those things without equipment, but again, their routine has been disrupted along the way. And so do a couple of shout-outs, Greg. We already have. Shout-out to you and Greg for your awesome shirt. Your wife, Jennifer, and daughter, Harper, are listening, and we love you. Harper says hi to her dad.
That's right. My daughter loves cats. My daughter, Harper Grace, she loves cats. She wanted everybody to know that that's the case. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm not classifying your shirt in the awesome category.
I don't know, folks. It's a nice shirt.
Yeah. Okay. Harper, new shirt for Father's Day. That's what you need to do. So thank you, Jennifer. Aunt Christy, maybe Aunt Ginger thought I was long gone for the past few games, but I'm back to shout out my awesome nephew, offensive lineman Hudson Stillwell. So proud of you, Hudson. Stay safe. Have fun. From Aunt Christy, trumping Aunt Ginger on the shout-out line. And, Greg, one more other shout-out from my wife. Saying that we are the best-looking Vype crew.
That's no doubt about that. I love it.
In the system. So, nonetheless, that is the shout-out from my wife. Now, you and I have combined hair to equal that of a watermelon.
None.
Which is basically
zero, not a follicle in the booth.
No, it's all on our face.
That's right.
It's all on our face. So, again, the shout-out line is lhfootball21@yahoo.com. If you want to give a shout-out, let us know. And I'm waiting for that first Logan Dyer shout-out, which I have not gotten so far. And what is all the Dyer clan doing already tonight? They're making Thanksgiving plans. So, Greg, what do you got?
I'm looking here. I'm on Dave Campbell's just to kind of, we were talking about the brackets and we were doing that. Dave Campbell just updated the game.
Yep.
It's in the second quarter. Liberty Hill up 21-7, according to Dave Campbell's
not.
Football. I'm telling you, I'm online. Here it says Liberty Hill 21, champion 7.
Someone should be fired.
I don't know. Folks. Now that's not the game. That's not the score of the game, folks.
No, it's not. It's not.
But you feel bad. You feel bad.
So, Greg, if it does do that, someone is wow.
Absolutely.
It ends up being that.
So, goodness.
Greg.
My goodness.
All right. It is that time of the game.
There we go.
It is that time of the game,
folks,
for the Greg Cerriti inflatable mascot tunnel run through review.
This is not the first time I've reviewed the Chargers run through. I've said it's absolutely one of the best around. Yes. Right? A giant Charger, like a blue Bronco, but it's large. It's one of the largest tunnels.
Yes,
you can almost fit the whole team in there.
Right.
They don't do the smoke or anything like that. They just all get inside the Charger. So Tim, it's a solid 8.5 on the scale.
Well, what's going to get them the one? What's going to get them the other 1.5?
You got to have some animation. You got to have some movement in the. I need to have some.
So if smoke came out of the nostrils, how about that?
Wow, it would bump it up a full point. 9.5. 9.5 if there was smoke coming out of the nostril.
Greg,
that seems like a hazard though. You're gonna put those kids in there. That's not good.
You and I are both wrong. Teams going back in the tunnel. So Liberty Hill actually There some are going, some are not. I don't think they're. Maybe it's a bathroom break for some of them, but they're definitely not going back into the tunnel. The team's going down to do their run-through sign, moving back into the end zone. We're just about 3 minutes from kickoff.
Our QA, Mitchell Paget, on the listening buds there, making sure everything sounds good. So we're rolling and rolling. So thanks to Mitchell for listening in. Yeah,
Mitchell, TCU Horned Frog Paget.
There you go.
He's a Horned Frog fan. Fan of the Big 12, which UT is not part of really anymore.
Technically they are, but not in a few years. Yep. They're going to be joining the Aggies in the SEC.
Yep, they are. And so, anyway, they'll just move from cellar dwellers from one division to another.
We're here to talk about high school.
I know, and we are, yes. So, the Boerne champion Chargers are about to come onto the field through their it's a horse's head, a Charger, and again, I don't understand the horse and the Charger together, but that's really what it is, and they are about to take to the field. We had about 2 minutes to go from kickoff, and I think we're probably a little bit longer than that. Again, if you're just joining us, we are in a delay of game a little bit. Liberty Hill's equipment truck did not arrive in time. They had a flat on the way to the stadium, and their football helmets and shoulder pads and equipment didn't show up in time, and therefore they really got here right about a little before 7, and they've been rushed in their pregame ever since. Greg and I talked about the disruption of the routine of getting ready, and hopefully it doesn't have any effect on the team tonight. Last year, Liberty Hill won this game 41-0 against Boerne champion, where they met also in the second round. Winner of this game moves on to next week. Loser's season is over. And onto the field, Liberty Hill's running on the field. They're in their away white jerseys, white jerseys, white pants, purple helmets with the yellow gold emblem on the side. And Boerne Champions taking the field. They're in their white pants. They're dark blue. Is that navy, Greg? Is that what you call it? You're really a deep blue.
I mean, I'm probably not the guy to ask about the color.
Yeah. If it wasn't in the crayon color of 16, we didn't know what that was, right? So now they have all different kinds of colors. But blue helmets, dark blue jerseys, white pants, and they are onto the field now too. The colors are coming onto the field. We'll have our national anthem here shortly, and I don't think they're going to rush through the national anthem. They're going to play that in its entirety, to get this in. So we have the crowd all mic'd up. We're just about ready to start this contest. Again, if you're going to give us a shout out, shoot me an email at lhfootball21@yahoo.com. That's lhfootball21@yahoo.com. We're going to take a pause as they do the national anthem and the presenting of the colors.
Carrying the Texas flag, Cadet First Lieutenant Sarah Gardner. The American Guard Cadet Captain Riley Williamson. The Texas Guard Cadet Captain Jake Rodriguez. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats to honor America and the men and women serving in our armed forces around the world. Our national anthem tonight will be played by the Boerne Champion Charger High School Marching Band under the direction of Jason Younts.
National anthem by the Boerne Champion Chargers. Marching band, good job. The colors are coming off to the field, and we are just moments away from the kickoff of this round 2 playoff game in the Texas UIL playoffs. Don't miss any UIL football. Don't miss the state championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. That's information on the UIL football state championships starting on Wednesday, December 15th. They do it all from Wednesday all the way to Saturday. They have games going on the entire time. And the captains are coming on to the field for the coin flip. And Greg, this Boerne Champion team is led by quarterback Carson Kaiser. Really good quarterback. He played last year. Very good quarterback, one of the best in the San Antonio area. I do expect them to throw the ball. They also have a very good running back in their arsenal.
Alex Rodriguez.
Yes, he's in the Hall of Fame.
I can't believe that he is here playing football for the
Alex
Chargers.
Rodriguez. And Liberty Hill's got another quarterback of their own, Reese Vickers, who's done a great job playing quarterback, doing a great job in this slot T offense, running it and hiding the ball as he hands off and fakes hands off. And Liberty Hill's offense is led by Noah Long and Logan Dyer and Joe Pitchford in the backfield. Those are the main guys that carry the ball. You also will hear Grady Flynn's name and Gavis Salinas and occasionally Devin Riley's name called when they carry the ball. Boerne Champion is going to be receiving the ball. Liberty Hill's kicking off. They won the toss to defer to the second half. So Liberty Hill will be moving from our left to the right. Boerne Champion right to the left. They'll be receiving the kickoff. We're going to see that quarterback, Carson Kaiser, in this first offensive possession for the Champion Chargers. He's over here filling the balls and deflating them like Tom Brady.
He really is, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's finding the one.
He's picking out the one. He's squeezing each one, trying to figure out which one. You
is.
know they're going to throw the ball when your quarterback's coming over. Reese Vickers is not going and checking the pressure on the balls over there. I can guarantee.
No, he's not.
16 is nowhere near a football checking the pressure of it. We are watching Kaiser go through the whole entire
bag.
He's got a trash can full of balls he's going through, folks.
Absolutely. he did the entire trash can finding the balls that he wants to throw, took his helmet off.
And he's got it. He's got it.
He give it to the ball boy. Look, the two ball boys have the two balls that he wants to throw. Maybe he's throwing a third, warming up on the sideline. Hey, everybody, give me a shout out. Let us know that you're listening. Make sure you let us know it's not just our wives listening to the game.
Ryan Brandon, the number one target for Kaiser, senior wide receiver. Brandon on the year, 55 catches, 969 yards.
Ethan Minnick set to kick it off. He does. He pooch kicks it off to the left-hand side, and it's not going to be fair caught. It came out of his hands. That's a little dangerous, and it bounces out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. They're going to give him to the 24, and that's where, I thought it was a generous spot because since he touched it in bounds.
Why not? Why touch it? It was going out of bounds. I guess he just felt like he had to because it was the clock in his head was ticking, but he caught it on the hash mark on the side. That ball was definitely going out of bounds.
Yep. They're going to start at the 24-yard line, just starting this game. Champion comes on the field. They're going to not huddle. They've called the play already over here to the sideline and onto the field. Alex Rodriguez is the running back. Offset. Off to the left of the quarterback, Kaiser. Kaiser takes it, hands off to Rodriguez right-hand side, dancing around, trying to get to the outside. And he's going to get bottled up. Only a gain of about a yard. Gets to the 25-yard line. A good string out by the Panther defense.
Stretch play on the right there. Aiden Burrell read something. He came up and crashed, and maybe some film work there.
Well,
good adjustment by the
They ran again away from LJ, and we've seen that before. 2nd and 9. Handoff again right up the middle to Rodriguez. He gains another yard. Gets across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Starters in the secondary for the Panthers: Hudson, Schrank, Caden McMahon, and Aiden Burrell.
3rd and 8, and this is definitely a passing down. 3 receivers off to the left, 1 only to the right. Kaiser takes the snap, looks right, throws it downfield, and it is incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down. Tight coverage by the Panthers, but it's incomplete.
Devin Riley on the coverage there, along with Carter Hudson. Kaiser tried to stick it in to double coverage, and he flew it out a little bit. Guess he picked the wrong ball for that throw, Tim.
3 and out for the Chargers. Nobody back for the Panthers. They're not buying this punt.
Interesting.
I agree. The punt is a really good one. It's going to put the Panthers, and it takes a Boerne Champion bounce across the 25 to the 24-yard line. Greg, that was a little surprising.
Literally flipped the field. Great job by the punter for the Charger punter, number 15, Sawyer Bowley, I believe it is.
So, Greg, sometimes when that happens, the Liberty Hill Panthers coaches have picked up something, studying film, that Boerne Champion has probably faked the punt on several occasions this year, and they were just making sure. Here comes the Panthers onto the field. Handoff left inside to Pittsford. Gets through a hole, picks up a couple of yards, maybe 5 yards on 1st down, gets to the 29-yard line.
Folks, interesting defense that Champion is doing here. Safety number 15, Sawyer Boley. He was just a punter. He is now in a prevent position. He is 15, 18 yards off the ball. They're tracking the
And off
runner.
right-hand side, that is Noah Long down the sideline, and nobody's going to catch him. Well, he's off to the races across the 20 to the 10. It is a touchdown, Noah Long, 71 yards.
And just like that defense got beat as Sawyer Boley. He was back 18 yards from the line of scrimmage. Obviously, he had the angle. He just took a poor one, and Noah Long hit the Jets, and he was gone.
This is about the time my wife texts me and says, calm down.
Noah Long said,
for it.
I don't need my shoulder pads or my helmet to warm up. I'm fine, Coach.
Ethan Minnick's on for the point after, snaps back. The kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, Liberty Hill jumps off to a lead. They may delay the equipment truck next week if they move on too, Greg.
What a great play. Interesting defense by Boerne Champion to have that safety so far back. You're basically giving up the 7 or 8 yard run so that you don't bust the 71. And that's exactly what happened. You're taking one guy out of the mix, which Liberty Hill will thankfully absolutely. Please drop one out so that we can have an extra blocker. I cannot see that defense lasting. I just can't see it lasting much longer. Especially after 2 plays, that's what happens. Man, I guess it must have looked good on paper somewhere because I've never in all the years we've been calling this team. I've never seen anyone in the first quarter try a prevent defense with a safety on this wing tee.
On a wing tee. You do it with a passing offense, right, Greg? You might do that.
Maybe not with one safety in the middle of the field. He's just as useless. In a passing offense. Wow. Wowza. Noah Long.
I look for Minnick's to keep doing the same thing, doing the pooch kick, make sure they were not getting a return. And it's been a strategy Liberty Hill has done for years. Now he does it on the right-hand side. Not a fair catch. It's going to be called the 20-yard line. Liberty Hill wraps him up right at the 20. Gets to the 21. Man, those refs are giving a very good spot, Greg, because he got tackled at the 20. Giving him the 22.
Canyon Jolly in like a shot off the right side. Great coverage. Coach out there trying to call the offense. They do like to call this first play, Tim, from the sideline.
Like clockwork, my wife sends me a calm down text.
Not even going yet.
Not even going yet. I'm just warming up. All right, 2 receivers off the right, 1 to the left. Carson Kaiser, quarterback, and there's a man in motion.
It's Canadian football there from Ryan Brandon.
It's going to be 5 yards back for the Chargers. And what they caught it on a lineman, Greg, but I'm like you. I think the receiver was moving forward.
It looked like it.
So it is 1st and 15. The ball is backed up now to the 17-yard line. Man in motion. Same play. They didn't even snap back. Kaiser's looking at him, throws it to the outside. It is caught across the 25. Looks like he gets to the 29-yard line. Not enough for a first down. They're going to mark him to, they're going to give him the 30. God, these guys are giving them extra yard.
Good safe throw there by Kaiser.
2nd and 2. The ball's at the 30-yard line. Kaiser takes the snap, hands off right up the middle to Rodriguez. He gets close to a first down, and he's going to have enough for a first.
Linebackers for the Panthers today, Cade McMahon, Devin Riley, along with Andon Thomas and Reed Bynum.
1st and 10 for the Chargers at the 32-yard line. Left-hand hash. Snaps back. Kaiser's got it. He's looking left, dancing around. Got plenty of time. He's going to tuck it and run it himself. Gets across the 30. Tackled only for a gain of maybe 1. The ball's on the ground. And they're going to call him down. Pickup of only 1, maybe 2 yards.
Good blocking by the Chargers, keeping the Panthers off of Kaiser. A very clean pocket that Kaiser stepped up into there.
2nd and 8. Ball's on the right-hand hash this time. Plays being called from the sideline. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Rodriguez in the backfield with Kaiser again. Ball's on the 34-yard line. Snaps back. Kaiser fakes it. Looks downfield. Throws it way down across the middle. Overthrows his receiver. That is Griffin Jones just by a step.
Jones
incomplete.
Wide open. Jones down the middle. And finally, the starters for the defensive line. You heard Tim talk about Lloyd Johnson, Hollis Brady, and in the middle, number 44, Drake Torno.
Another third down play for the Chargers. 9 minutes left to go in this game. Liberty Hill leads 7-0. 3rd and 8 for Champion. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Kaiser takes the snap, straight drop back, looking across the middle, dancing around, throws it down deep down the left-hand side, and it is picked off at the 35-yard line. That is Cade McMahon on the interception.
McMahon, safety, just read the quarterback there. Kaiser tried to put it up, not enough loft. McMahon's got a little length in the arms as well. Caught the ball at the highest point. Turnover, Panthers.
Panthers have the ball at their own 35-yard line. We have 8:47 left to go in the first quarter. Snaps back, handoff left-hand side. Little carry there. That is Grady Flynn. Pickup of a couple of yards. Grady Flynn had a great game last week, Greg.
He sure did. Looking to continue on that success. These Chargers are still in this prevent defense. I tell you what, he's dang near. He's 15 yards off the line of scrimmage right now.
2nd and 7 after a pickup of 3. Handoff right-hand side. That is Noah Long. He cuts it back up the middle. He picks up about 5 yards. Going to be close to a first down. Gets to the 44. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I have just seen this offense work so many times when it's 11 on 11 and you're taking one guy out to break the big, so that they don't break the big play.
Snap, and it's Liberty Hill jump.
Didn't set.
Didn't get set, and after a 3rd and 1, now they're going to back it up to 3rd and 6. Greg, we are, we're about 4 or 5 minutes into this game, and we don't have a Logan Dyer shout-out yet on the Liberty Hill football line.
They might be here for the holidays.
They all be here. Snap, handoff left-hand side again. Grady Flynn cuts it up, picks up a few yards, going to be short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and about 1.5 yards needed for the first. Now they're going to give him a little bit good spot. They've been giving great spots to both teams. It's 4th and 1. And, Greg, it looks like the punting team's coming onto the field. The coach isn't going to risk it.
Up 7-0 with the way that this team is playing. Andon Thomas may have the green light to run it.
4th and 1. Punting unit is on the field. Snaps back. And then punts it. Goes off to the left. Kicks it out of bounds. It's not a very good kick. And they're still marching it up. And unfortunately, it went out of bounds at the 40. It was only a net of about 15 yards.
That's a rough punt there for Thomas. He tried to do that sidestep there. That ball just caught a little thin, as they say.
So it's first down for the Chargers from their own 40-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap back, handoff to Rodriguez up the middle. Breaks through the line of scrimmage, tripped up, pickup of 3 yards. Makes it out to the 43-yard line.
Surprised we haven't seen that out pattern with Ryan Brandon. It was so wide open when they rolled Kaiser out.
2nd and 7, 3 receivers off to the left, 1 to the right, snaps back, looking left, dancing around, get a little pressure, run him out of the pocket. Now he's going to run it. He picks up about 5 yards, going to be 3 yards short of the first down. At the 47, will bring up another 3rd down for the Chargers.
Again, good coverage by these Panthers. Not allowed Kaiser to find anything down the middle. His 2 completions have been to the side, and mostly he's just been doing any damage with his legs.
3 receivers left, one of the right, man in motion, throws it out into the flat with that to that man in motion. He has the first down and more, gets across midfield, tackled about Liberty Hill 40. That's going to be a first down for the Chargers.
Good designed wide receiver screen there to Brandon, the number 1 option for Kaiser. They got him in space with a few blockers.
Ball's on the left-hand hash right at the 40-yard line. First of Liberty Hill. Snaps back. Kaiser's looking left. Throws it out left. Oh, and almost intercepted by Liberty Hill. Great play. Incomplete pass.
Carter Hudson digging his feet and making the read. And he came hard on that play. Tim, he came so hard, the out and up is guaranteed pretty soon because Carter Hudson committed fully to knock that down. Great play by Hudson, but he's got to be ready for the pump and go if he's going to play that tight.
Second down from the Liberty Hill 40. Snaps back. Kaiser hands it off to Rodriguez. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
L.J. Johnson. And he's excited about it. 17, getting up and trying to get the crowd fired up. He hit Rodriguez hard.
And typically we see teams run away from LJ. I think he took matters into his own hands and made himself get into that hole. Shed off the blocker. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. Kaiser takes the snap. He looks left with that one-on-one covers, throws it downfield long, overthrows his receiver. Incomplete pass, and Greg, it brings up fourth down. And I expect us to see Boerne go for it here.
Might as well.
Boerne champion. I'm sorry, there is a Boerne, and I say Boerne champion.
We might as well. Aiden Burrell, great coverage. These Liberty Hill defensive backs are ready for Kaiser, and they have been sticking to these receivers. Kaiser tried to get it over the top several times and has not been able to drop it in the bucket.
Two receivers right, one on the left. Kaiser takes a snap, under pressure a little bit, throws it downfield, and has a man, overthrows him again, incomplete. Turnover on downs to Liberty Hill at the Liberty Hill 40-yard line. Greg, what I'm seeing is they're really trying to get the one-on-one side. They're throwing away from the side where they got trips and twins on that side. They're throwing to the other side a lot.
He is not loosened up, or he is not on his game right now. He is overthrowing that ball, that long ball. He is nowhere near completing those passes. They if I'm coaching them, I'm gonna stick to those quick slants and the ones that he's been hitting.
5 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Liberty Hill has the ball back, hands off to Noah Long, dances around, gets across the 45, spins out of a tackle down to the 48, 49-yard line. Close to a first down. It'll be a second down and 1.
Now, there you go. That's exactly what the defense that Boerne Champion is playing. Sawyer Boley came in and, instead of Noah Long getting a 10-yard gain, he got an 8-yard gain.
Second and 1, ball's on the right-hand hash. Vickers takes a snap, pitches out left to Pitchford. Pitchford across the midfield, across the 45, the 40, the 35, run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line.
And there's Sawyer Boley. He made another tackle. He went to the other side this time. He is literally the last man that's going to make the tackle when the defense up front doesn't have enough people to make a tackle. And so it's just funneling it all to Boley down the field. All night, folks. If they do this, it's going to be like this all night long.
Ball on 28-yard line, handoff right-hand side. That is Logan Dyer. He pushes forward to the 22-yard line for a nice first down gain of 6 yards.
Now as they get closer to the end zone, it's going to force Champion to have to bring Boley up. He is still, folks, 15 yards back from the line of scrimmage.
Second and 4. Vickers takes a snap, pitches out to Pitchford to the left-hand side, gets to the 20. Gets across the 20. Looks like he's down to the 18-yard line, close to another first down. Let's see where they mark him. I think they're going to give it to him. And they do. They give him the first down at the 18-yard line. Chains move again. 4 minutes left to go in this first quarter. Liberty Hill leads 7-0. Ball's on the left-hand hash. Vickers under center. Hands off right-hand side to Pitchford. They stand him up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Tried
to go up the middle there. Good play, good surge by champion. Great spot for the Panthers. Not sure where these refs learned to spot, Tim, but I tell you what, it is generous. Every single one. You're right. It looked like he pushed him back there.
2nd down and 10 from the 18-yard line. Pitch out to Noah Long, left-hand side. He bounces off of a guy, gets across the 15, gets down to the 11-yard line. Good, tough run by Noah Long.
Did he bounce off, or did he shoulder chuck that guy? Because it looked like Noah Long lowered his shoulder and just knocked him over. Good hard run by Noah Long.
Now brings up 3rd and 3. Ball is spotted at the 11-yard line. Left-hand hash. Jackson Harrison up to the line of scrimmage, the center, snaps it, pitches out to the right again into Noah Long. He gets to the 5-yard line, picks up a 1st down. It will be 1st and goal for Liberty Hill. Liberty Hill leads 7-0. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play.
I can honestly say they have no chance of stopping them with that defense. It's amazing to me that I'm honestly saying that, and I'm watching it unfold as we speak, but it's just a sheer numbers game.
Gavin Salinas comes into the game. Vickers takes the snap, hands off to Noah Long, cuts across the 5. He's close to a touchdown, but I think they're going to mark him. No, they give it to him. Noah Long with a touchdown run. It looked like they were going to mark him short, but they said he got to the goal line for the touchdown.
2nd touchdown of the night for Noah Long. He's going to put the Panthers up 13-0, pending the Minix extra point. Good, solid offensive series by the Panthers there. As we wait for Minix to boot it through.
Snaps back. Minnick's kick is up, and it is good, and Liberty Hill leads 14-0 with 2:19 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back to continue the action. You are listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Sports.
Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at Vype.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
3-13. Again, another reverse. Breaking tackles. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown Rangers.
16 seconds. Really close up the corner. Rotates to Wilson. She fires the 3. Oh my God! It went in. Cavaliers pull ahead by 1.
Log on to Vype, VYPE.com.
The pause, and Liberty Hill leads 14-0. 2:19 left to go in the first quarter of play. 2 touchdown runs by Noah Long has the Panthers on top. Last year, this game was 41-0 in favor of Liberty Hill. Also in the second round against Boerne champion, and now they have a 14-0 lead. Pooch kick off to the right-hand side, caught at the 18-yard line by Boerne champion. Run out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. I think it was 29, but I watch them mark it out at the 30. Yep, that's exactly what they did. They gave them the extra yard.
Well, they did give Noah Long that extra yard into the end zone as well. So
that's true.
They are making it even.
Greg, all right, there was offsides for Liberty Hill and the kicking team. They're going to add 5 more yards to the end of the run. And now the champion Chargers will start at the 35-yard line instead of the 30. Offense comes onto the field, led by quarterback Carson Kaiser. Trips out to the right-hand side, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, snaps back, fake handoff, and Kaiser's going to keep it himself. Best run of the night. He's still on his feet, gets to midfield, and a pickup of 15 yards by Kaiser. The coaches saw something there in Liberty Hill's defense and picks up 15. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to right, handoff, another fake handoff, throws it out to the flat, and it's incomplete. Bring up 2nd down. One minute, 53 seconds left to go until the end of the first quarter. Give me a shout out, folks. LHfootball21@yahoo.com. Let me know who you are, where you're listening from. If you want to give any player a shout out for tonight's action, LHfootball21@yahoo.com. Snap back to Kaiser, looking right, run out of the pocket, and he is hit. The ball is loose, and it's a scrum for the ball. Liberty Hill has the ball.
They do have it, Tim.
They do. Bring out that trash can, Greg.
I can't see who it is. Wow, number 62. Reed Bynum comes up with the ball. It was a scrum over there. As Kaiser coughed it up, Bynum comes up with it. And here comes Champion with their prevent defense. One safety back. 10 in the box.
Great field position for Liberty Hill. They're in Boerne Champion territory already at the 40-yard line. Jackson Harrison, the center for Liberty Hill, is already at the ball. Snaps back to Vickers, hands off to the left-hand side. Good block downfield. That is Grady Flynn running across the 20, the 10, getting to the 8-yard line. They're going to mark him down right at the 8.
What an absolutely gorgeously designed play off the right side. Blockers in front. Nobody pursuing, and as soon as they do decide to flow through, Liberty Hill Panthers out in front of Grady Flynn, leading the way.
Timeout for Boerne Champion. They want to regroup. Great blocking by Liberty Hill. Julius Osborne for the Panthers came out of his chute.
I am saying, folks, it is so crazy to sit here and know this team and watch this team for as long as I have, to see them play the offense the way that they play it, and just to watch a defense be out there and have no chance of stopping it, Tim. They have to play perfect, one man down, and even if they do, Noah Long drops a shoulder and now he's gone. It's just such a people, you got to try something, folks. But I tell you what, they go back to the drawing board after this one.
Well, Greg, typically schools look at film from other schools that were successful against Liberty Hill, and we can tell you right now that's not one of them.
I've never seen this defense. I don't even know what you call this. I guess single high safety. I guess it's single high safety. 10 in the box. Cover one. That's all it is. Cover zero. I don't know. It is an interesting choice.
First and goal for the Panthers. Right hand side, right hash. Hand off to Noah Long, left hand side. Even Vickers is out blocking, and Noah Long gets to the 3-yard line. Vickers pitches it and leads Noah Long through the hole.
I love it when Liberty Hill quarterbacks block out in front like that. This offense is not designed to protect the quarterback in that sense. They're going to get in there and stick his nose in. And
he wasn't worried about the inflation of the ball.
Nope, he was not.
Snaps back, pitches out left inside. Grady Flynn cuts it up, and he walks into the end zone. Grady Flynn with a touchdown run.
20-0. And Tim, the flat tire on the equipment truck seems to have not even bothered this team at all. Like you said, have a flat next week.
Listen, Kaiser's on the sideline checking the air pressure of his footballs for the game. Liberty Hill deflated their own equipment truck's tire.
My goodness. Minnick's on for the kick.
Snaps back. Minnick's kick is up. No good. He kicked it off to the right-hand side.
Now there we go, folks. That might be the first evidence of not getting to warm up like you like to, right? There you go.
Greg, he's hit 2 already.
He has. I'm trying to throw you a bone here.
20-0 Liberty. Yeah, Dean. 58 seconds left. 20-0 Liberty Hill. We're down here in San Antonio. Didn't even get a chance. I was talking to you about the equipment truck that we're at Doug Ferris Stadium here in North Side Independent School District. And, Greg, we can see 2 swimming pools from where we sit right here.
They're out swimming right now.
They're swimming. They're working. This is an incredible swimming facility. It's home of the 2016 Olympic training camp. In this outdoor, Greg, they have 1 indoor pools and they have an outdoor competition pool with a grandstand.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. Marble Falls up 14-0 over Mission Veterans.
Nice.
Leander Rouse 31-13 over Floresville.
Greg, who do we got next week if we advance this week? The winner of who?
It is right now. It is going to be Leander Rouse. It looks like if everything holds true, and that's a local game up there. So
kick and Boerne falls on the 30-yard line. Greg, this is following the identical route of last year.
Interesting.
So far, the same opponents, practically all through.
Except for the next round. It's not going to be the next round.
It's not going to be Sherryland.
No. Crosby definitely could see in the semifinals.
Liberty Hill's got to keep winning. Here we go. First down for Burning Champion. Snaps back to Kaiser. Hands it off right up the middle. Gain of 3 yards on the play by Rodriguez. Bring up 2nd and 7 from the 33-yard line. 44 seconds left to go until the end of the first quarter. Liberty Hill leads 20-0. Thank you all for tuning in, listening tonight for the broadcast. Wherever you may be, give me a shout out, lhfootball21@yahoo.com. 2 receivers right to the left, right-hand hash, snack back to Kaiser, looking right, throws it across the middle, complete to the 45-yard line. It's a first down, a move the chains of a few yards, pick up a first down.
Kaiser's first really good throw of the night, stepping up into and right through the heart of the Liberty Hill defense. He found a soft spot in the zone there and whipped it in there.
That's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. Liberty Hill leads 20-0. We'll be right back after this quick break. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Sports.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here to start the second quarter of play. Trips out to the left, throw it out into the flat, complete. Across the 45, tackled at about midfield at the 50-yard line. Pickup of 5 or 6 yards. Seen that play before. That's the first time it's had a positive effect of 6 yards. It's been little gain or incomplete pass. 2 receivers out to the right, to the left. The ball's on the left-hand hash now. They're going. Boerne's going left to right. Straight drop back, looking left, throws it out left, overthrows his receiver, incomplete pass. They'll bring up 3rd down and 4.
Kaiser, big prototypical stand-up pocket quarterback, wearing the number 7. Looked pretty good on that throw, just sailed it a little bit.
Just underway here in the second quarter. Liberty Hill leads 20-0. 3 receivers to the right. Fake handoff, throws it out in the flat, overthrows his receiver, Greg. It brings up 4th down. That play he's having to rush to throw the ball.
It's
a bad
design. Bad design of the play, and then to throw it across your body down the field like that. We talk about it all the time, folks. We like to see coaches call plays for their players' strongest play, and right now you're just not seeing Coach Kaiser do that.
Greg, it's 4th down. They're going for it, 4th and 4. Liberty Hill now calls timeout, but looks like Boerne Champion is going to go for it on 4th and 4 from the Liberty Hill 49-yard line. That's right at midfield. This is an early gamble, but down 20-0, Greg. It's something that it looks like Boerne Champion feels like they need to do.
You have to. You have to do something to try to get back in this ball game, because right now your defense is not even on the same. It's not even on the same. They don't even belong on the same field with them right now with the way that they're trying to stop them. It's amazing to me.
So right now what it looks like that Boerne Champion is doing going for it is that, look, we haven't stopped them yet. We haven't, well, once. They made them punt on a 4th and 1, but nonetheless, Liberty Hill has been moving the ball at will. And you're saying right now, whether we give them the ball right here or we give them the ball on the 20-yard line, we're not stopping them. So let's try to go for it, get some momentum back our way. And that's what they're attempting to do right here at 4th and 4 from the Liberty Hill 49-yard line. Ball's in the left-hand hash, 2 receivers right, snaps back, Kaiser's looking left, throws it left, has the first down, just enough yardage to get the first.
That's the best play. It's your best player, and you're throwing it to his favorite target.
Yep.
Exactly right. You throw that out to Ryan Brandon and let your best player make the best play. And Tim, what's shocking is that's a 5-yard pass, a 5-yard out, solid play. I wonder when they're going to do it again because they just seem to leave it on the shelf.
Well, they're out to the 44-yard line, 2 receivers right, to the left, snaps back to Kaiser. He looks immediate left, throws out again, throws to the same receiver, a pickup of only 3 yards this time. Carter Hudson and Devin Riley out there on the coverage.
Good quick throw by Kaiser. That's what you got to do to get him warmed up. Good quick throws.
Yep. Ball's on the 40, 2nd and 6 now. 2 receivers right, to the left. Snaps back. Straight drop back. Dancing around. Throws it across the field. Tipped off of Devin Riley. An incomplete pass. It brings up 3rd down.
Again, going for Ryan Brandon. 3 plays in a row. Kaiser to Brandon. 2 catches. They did get the first down. Leaves them with 3rd and 6 here.
One thing I've seen that Kaiser's doing, Greg, he is locked on to his primary receiver from the snap. He's not looking anybody off. That if he's got a weakness, he's looking at the receiver, his primary receiver from the go-get. Snaps back, looking left, under pressure, dancing around, throws it downfield, incomplete pass. Again, Greg, he's targeting Brandon again.
And it overthrows him by a good 3-4 yards down the middle. That was, as Tim said, he's totally locked on him from the start. The Panther defense dialed in on that for sure and making the tackles when they need to. And right there, good coverage down the middle by Caden McMahon.
Another 4th down attempt. This time it's 4th and 6. Greg, you might see the out again. Actually, there's no receivers really upset, but a tight end on the left-hand side. Snaps back, rolling out to the right-hand side, throws it out, and it is complete at the 30-yard line. It was actually good coverage by Rocket Hudson, but it was complete for a first down.
But it's the out. It's the 5-yard, 7-yard, and then out. And if a quarterback can put it on the money, you can't guard that. It's indefensible if you run it properly. And Kaiser has the arm to run it out there. Folks, I said they weren't going to do it again, but sure enough, it worked. And good for them. They're moving the ball down the field a little bit more, running plays that work.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and that's Brandon to the right. And it's a run by the quarterback and pitches out a little option play. Picks up about 4 or 5 yards to the 25-yard line.
First option play we've seen like that. Reed Bynum and Devin Riley on the tackle as they spread it out. Maybe if they kept it for a heartbeat more, might have got a couple more yards.
Another great spot to the 24-yard line, bring up 2nd and 4.
Man, these refs.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. We keep talking. They keep adding a yard on every spot both ways, it seems like. Kaiser takes the snap. Looks right, dances around, run out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run himself across the 25, and he's drugged down right at the 20-yard line. They're going to give him the spot of the first down. But Greg, hold on a second. As he got drugged down, Kaiser's knee sort of got locked up underneath him. Kaiser is down on the turf on the Liberty Hill sideline. So big development right here is Kaiser, when he was drugged down by the Liberty Hill defender for the tackle, it looked like his leg got caught underneath him when he was drugged down, and Kaiser is still down on the sideline. We're going to take a quick break as they sort this all out. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Sports.
There are no words to describe it. The isolation, the boredom, the loneliness. If you're wondering where your teenage son or daughter's spirit went, you're hardly alone. The past year has been devastating, especially for them. But here's the good news. They might just find it again, playing high school sports. Workouts that stimulate, teammates and coaches that care. The sense of belonging so many of us have been missing lately. That's what school sports are all about. The sense of achievement is real, and the camaraderie is hard to beat. Coping with uncertainty is difficult, but school sports can help the teenagers in your family start feeling like themselves again. Encourage them to give it a try. High school sports, it's so much more than a game.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Back here after the injury timeout, quarterback Carson Kaiser for Boerne Champion is injured, and they're getting him off to the sideline. I hate to see it. He's a senior, coach's son, and this does not look good, Greg, as he still is in the middle of the field as they're getting him over to the sideline. All the players for Boerne is coming up to him. And this is a tough break for this senior, the leader, the main captain for this team, for these guys.
You hate to see it, absolutely. We've seen him. We saw him last year, and you knew that he was going to be back. Didn't know we were going to be playing him, but knew that he was going to come back strong. Coach's son is right, and he just started getting his feet underneath him on this last drive. They started calling some plays for him, and he was running the ball a little bit, but he's going to take it to the locker room. Unfortunately, I believe his night's going to be done.
New quarterback is Jordan Balin, a sophomore. Snaps back, and he's just going to pitch it out to the left-hand side. It's enough for a first down for Boerne. And tough spot for a sophomore who has probably not seen a lot of action this year. But they pick up the first down, get to the 16-yard line. 9 minutes left to go.
He looks to be much quicker than Kaiser is, much faster, like much more of a mobile quarterback. Have a feeling the option and some design run plays are going to be on the offense here for Boerne Champion.
Snaps back. Going to be a pass play, rolling out, looking downfield, throws it up, and it is complete, but he stepped out of bounds, Greg. He cannot come back in. It's a touchdown, but the ref saw what I saw. The receiver went out of bounds and came back in. He was not pushed out of bounds, and so they threw the flag.
Tim Dean's absolutely right. Illegal touching. And they're going to back him up. Great pass. Great touch pass.
Yes, it was.
By Jordan Balin over the top of the defense. He just kind of lobbed it out there. Cannon Brooks with the catch, fingertip catch, took it in, but they're going to back it up. And
Greg, I think it's Ballin, Jordan Ballin. I said Balin. There's no I right there, I don't think, in front of that L, so it's Ballin, Jordan Ballin.
Ballin's
what a great
name.
Oh, it's awesome. And there's another flag on the play. It's going to go against Boerne as well. Back him up 5. And now it's going to be 2nd and 15. And now Boerne's calling a timeout. Boerne Champion's calling a timeout. Try to get some. They don't want to lose this momentum. They got down here into the red zone, and now they're backed up to the 21.
Well, I'm afraid the momentum just went into the locker room because it was all on the arm of Carson Kaiser. Why they were going down the field. Alex Rodriguez pretty much bottled up tonight, and the past 7 to 10 plays that have been in a positive direction have been Carson Kaiser to Ryan Brandon.
Right.
It's been just Kaiser whipping it down the field to his number one target.
Now that you have a new quarterback, Ballin, he's not going to always be looking at Brandon's direction. The chemistry is not there like it was with Carson Kaiser and Brandon. But Ballin is at quarterback, the sophomore, snaps back, Looking downfield, he is throwing it towards Brandon's way, and it's incomplete pass. They're going to throw a flag on Liberty Hill for interference. I didn't see it from our angle, Greg, so it's going to go against Liberty Hill.
I thought he was playing the ball. It looked like Kane McMahon was playing the ball. I can't see who it's on.
Well, Greg,
they called it on Carter Hudson. But he did try to find Brandon in the corner of the end zone. He is the number one receiver. He's a senior.
And it's going to make it 1st and goal from the 6-yard line after the penalty. Now 2 receivers to the right, and Brandon's the lone receiver to the left. Look for Ballin to look that direction. Runs it out to the left, looks that direction, pitches out to the left, gets a 5, and it is a touchdown run by Boerne Champion by Alex Rodriguez.
Great offensive series by the Chargers. Started with Kaiser. Ballin came in and managed to lead the offense to its first points of the night.
Snaps back, the kick is up, and it is good. And Liberty Hill leads 20-7. Greg, I'm going to bring up something that happened before the game started. You were looking around at some websites, and you came across the Dave Campbell's, I think, scoreboard.
I did.
And the game had not started, and they had put up a score of the Liberty Hill Boerne Champion game. And we hadn't even started.
You go back and check the
Greg,
folks.
Greg, do you remember what it said?
It said 21-7 in the second quarter.
What is the score now?
It is 20-7. If not for an extra point, how great would that have been? There's no way we can get it now.
Oh, my gosh. That is crazy, and that's exactly what happened. It's that and I even made a comment about, oh, yeah, if it comes to fruition, and it came within inches of being
1 extra point away. The guy that could have made it happen, Ethan Minix, he never misses.
No.
My goodness.
No. Dave Campbell, Texas football, had a score prediction that was almost spot on.
Into the second quarter, too.
Kick is away, little pooch kick by Boerne Champion, caught at the 32-yard line. It's loose, still running. Ball's not loose. The runner was loose. Gets tackled at the 39-yard line.
Carlton Schrank with some fancy feet there, pushing the ball down the field. That's funny. That's funny. My goodness.
Pretty good starting field position for Liberty Hill, 39-yard line. Greg, Liberty Hill needs to answer with that touchdown. They need to keep doing what they're doing, but the offense has been off the field for a while. Let's see how they come out. Snap. Pitch out to the right side. Noah Long gets across the 40, dances around, gets across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Well, the experiment's over. I saw 2 safeties.
Okay.
So they've decided to scrap the single high defense.
Gets to the 46. It's bring up second and a long 3, almost 4 yards to go for the first down. Ball's on the right-hand hash. Vickers under center, takes the snap, pitches it to Pitchford to right-hand side, cuts up across the 50. First down, the ball's loose, but the referees call it down. The ball is on the 47-yard line of Boerne Champion. Chains will move. Pitchford has some good runs tonight.
But an interesting, now folks, I'm telling you, they dropped another safety back, but he's way far back. The safeties are so far back, on this defense, and it's just now there's 2 guys that aren't into block, and the Panthers just are not being pressed at all at the point of attack when they're running the ball.
And Greg, that it's almost an automatic 3 to 6 yards every snap if you're going to do that. Noah Long Handoff right up the middle. I think it's to Dyer this time. He gets across the 45 to the 44-yard line. Actually, it's Pitchford again. Second down. Pickup of 3. 2nd and 7. 7 minutes left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill leads 20-7.
We just haven't seen them stop the Panthers yet, right? Like they really just have no chance.
Once they put them in a 4th and 1, cause them to punt.
Thanks to the penalty, though. Not because of the
handoff
defense.
Noah Long right hand side gets close to another first down. It'll be 2 yards short. It'll bring up 3rd down.
If I'm not mistaken, it was like 3rd and 1 when the Panthers jumped and knocked it back.
Fair enough.
So I just the penalty they did get him to. But right now, folks, it is just, if you're a Panther fan, you got to love the way that this Panther offense is clicking right now.
Offensive line up to the line of scrimmage. Vickers takes a snap, hands off to Grady Flynn. He has the first down, just a little bit. He gets tackled at the 36-yard line. Chains will move, bring up another Panther first down. 6 minutes left to go until halftime.
And this is what you love to see. Also, if you're a Panther fan, just. Tim, that was a perfect series right there. 3 yards, 4 yards, first down.
Handoff right-hand side to Logan Dyer. Picks up some good hard yards. 3 yards there on the carry.
Again, clock moving. Quintessential Liberty Hill Panther football drive here in the second round of the playoffs.
Inside handoff to Noah Long. He has the first down. Good play call there inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Another Panther first down.
Love the inside handoff when the crackbacks are working and you get the defense flowing one way and then you hit them with that reverse inside handoff the other way. The lineman doing a great job tonight.
Ball's on the right-hand hash. Handoff left-hand side. Good first down run. Trying to see who has the carry. I think it's Logan Dyer again. Great pickup of 6, close to 7 yards on that carry. Up the line of scrimmage. Ball's on the right-hand hash. Pitch out the left-hand side. That is Noah Long, and he's going to get drugged down at the 6-yard line. Another first down will be 1st and goal.
Good hard run by sophomore Noah Long off the left side. He's already got 2 touchdowns tonight. They're going to be a hold if you just heard the ref. They're going to back him up. That play, unfortunately, will not stand. Possibly bringing up the opportunity to pass the ball, Tim.
No, Greg. No. You see this finger?
There's no chance. There's no chance.
No.
Those 2 safeties that far back. Why would you ever pass, right?
No. As my friend Sharon would say, no. Pitchford gets the ball on the right-hand side, gets down the sideline, has the first down, Greg. No passing needed. Gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
I thought maybe it was going to be a pass. It wasn't.
It was not, Greg. You just don't do that right here. You want to keep the clock moving.
You do not.
No.
Not with those safeties back
you
there.
You have the ball. You have control of the ball, Greg. You just keep running it. Dance with who brung you, Greg.
Here we go.
1st and goal. Handoff left-hand side. That is down to the 1-yard line. And that is Pitchford again on the carry. Down to the 1, 2nd and goal from inside the 1. They're probably about 6 inches from that white stripe.
Seems like a number 12 run to me.
Oh, I agree. This would be a good spot for Logan Dyer. Let's see what they do. It's actually going to be a good Vickers quarterback sneak.
Keep it in.
Nice. Reese Vickers plunging forward, getting the touchdown.
Great offensive drive by the Panthers. Putting them up 26-7 here in the second quarter.
Ethan Minnick set for the attempt, snaps back, kick is up, and it is good, and Liberty Hill extends its lead now to 27-7 with 3:43 left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill had just the Boerne champion defense just cannot stop Liberty Hill. The only time that they have so far, it was a 4th and 1, and actually I was actually surprised that Coach Walker didn't go for it. Greg, I don't know if we've been stopped for no gain yet.
Not for no gain. No, they've gotten positive yardage every single time. When you were playing Sawyer Boley, the safety, it was so far back, it just left the Panthers with one more man to block, one more guy to put a hat on somebody. And the Liberty Hill coaches saw that and started to immediately take advantage of that. Just man advantage that they had. So Boerne champion finally realized they had to get that offense out, their defense out rather.
It has been confirmed we will not see quarterback Carson Kaiser back in this game. He's on the sideline on crutches with his knee iced down, and unfortunately for this young man and this senior in the playoffs to not be able to help try to lead your team. Ball's returned by Boerne champion across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Boerne champion will be bringing back quarterback Jordan Ballin, sophomore. Did a good job finishing up that drive earlier to get the Chargers on the board. It's 27-7, 3 minutes and 38 seconds left to go until halftime. Three receivers to the right, one to the left. Snap back to Ballin, and he's going to keep it. Looking for someone, throws it downfield. It is complete. Run out of bounds about the 39-yard line. That means they're probably going to spot him at the 40. There's flag on the play on the other side.
That's how that play is supposed to look. That's how that play is designed to look, where you're literally option passing as you run down the line.
This might be an illegal receiver downfield. It's possible.
They're backing up the Chargers. Good call by Tim Dean. It is a legal man downfield, as Ballin ran perpendicular to the line and tried to find his man open, and he popped free at the very end.
And what that's causing, because it's taken so long to develop, the offensive linemen start to engage too far downfield and block downfield, causing when he throws the ball to be a penalty. Backing him up 5, 1st and 15. Ballin takes the snap. And there's the whistles again, and there must be movement on the Boerne champion offensive line. It's going to cost them another 5 yards.
It is tough for an offensive lineman on a moving quarterback like that to, figure out where they are in relation to the ball and how far down the field they can go while they're trying to unblock or engage on a block.
Now it's 1st and 20. Now ball's back at the 22-yard line. Snaps back. Ballin's looking right now, dancing around under pressure, going to tuck it and running himself. Across the 25, run out of bounds about the 23, 24-yard line. He gets some of it back. It'll be 2nd and about 12. Hey, a big shout-out from Carol McCoy. Let's go Panthers from Will Suchek's Nina, Granddad, and Aunt Kimmy from Oklahoma City. Wilt suited up tonight and enjoyed being on the sidelines to cheer his team. Doctor cleared him to start practicing next week. What?
I love that.
Love it. Love it. Love to hear that. Awesome news. 2nd and 12. Hand off to Rodriguez right inside. He cuts it back. Gets a few yards. Picks up 3 or 4 yards. It's going to make it 3rd down and 9. That is great news.
Lateral runs for Rodriguez have yielded very little gains this evening. The Panthers' pursuit is vicious to the ball, and Rodriguez not fast enough nor big enough to to deal with it.
3rd and 9. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Ball's on the right-hand hash, snap back. Ballin looking, under pressure, dancing around, moves back to the right-hand side, throws it across, incomplete pass, broken up by Aiden Burrell. Good play by the Panther defense, brings up 4th down, and the punting unit is coming onto the field.
Junior Aiden Burrell, long coverage there as Ballin was scrambling around trying to make something happen. Burrell stayed tight on his man, knocked the ball down at the last minute.
Still nobody back. Now Carter Hudson.
Carter Hudson saw that last punt and said, Coach, I can return that one.
I don't think it'll be a fake punt here. Snaps back. Punt is away. Not a good punt. Goes out of bounds. And somebody on the sideline gets hit. It was not done on purpose. And the punt goes out of bounds. It's only going to net a few yards.
After the punt will be Liberty Hill possession, 1st and 10.
Aaron Brewer,
39.
unfortunately, got caught up on the Boerne champion sideline.
Greg, I got Carol McCoy saying, where's the shout-outs? And Carol, they're sort of dried up tonight. I don't have any from the Dyer clan. LHfootball21@yahoo.com. I'd like to hear from some more people. LHfootball21@yahoo.com.
Healthy crowd out there over there, Tim. A lot of the listeners made the journey down here to cheer on the Panthers. Big crowd here for this game at the Ferris north side in the end zones, it says, and the swimming center off to the side. This is a beautiful facility.
It is a beautiful facility, and we're looking out towards San Antonio, the interior San Antonio, towards the downtown area as we sit here. We can't see downtown, I don't believe, from here, but it is a beautiful, beautiful stadium here at North Side ISD. And play
the second half, too. So, again, the Panthers time it just right. They have 2 minutes and 33 seconds to put more points on the board, and then they're going to give the ball back to them. This thing could be out of reach pretty quick.
Up to the line of scrimmage they come. Vickers pitches out right side to Noah Long. He has blockers in front. Flags down. He gets tackled only a gain of 3 or 4 yards. Flags are thrown in the area. Probably is going to be holding. Or a chop block, Greg.
I haven't seen the chop block.
It's holding against Liberty Hill. They're going to back them up 10 yards.
I honestly would just like to see a pass just so the Panthers can work on it. You know, you're going to need to do it later on down.
Calm, as my wife would say, calm down.
You're going to need to do it later on. It's a good time to practice
calm yourself.
Let's see. Maybe this is a good time. This is okay. First down, good time to do it? No?
Well, you know, they do it from the point of infraction, so it's really only 1st and 16. Handoff right-hand side to Noah Long. Kicks it out. Gets across the 40. Run out of bounds at about the 35, 36-yard line.
Good, solid run by Noah Long. Why throw it when you're running the ball so well? The team can literally not stop you right now. The Panthers are firing on all cylinders, playing about as well as you can ask for on offense.
2nd and 8. Inside handoff to Noah Long. Good run. Gets to the 30-yard line. It'll be a yard short of the first down. Hey, got another shout-out from my friend Chris Thompson. Says, great job, Tim. Go Panthers. Chris Thompson from North Padre Island. Greg, that's opposite of South Padre Island.
The north side of it.
The north side of it. Handoff left-hand side. First down run. Logan Dyer gets to the 25-yard line. And, Greg, North Padre, he's down there at the beach, but it's not. It's too cold to go to the beach.
Maybe not. Might be okay. Might be okay to get in.
Nah.
Little nighttime swimming.
No, not at all. Not
an ocean.
Nope. Pitch out left-hand side. That is to Grady Flynn. Picks up 3 yards to the 22.
Good hard run by Flynn off the left side. Clock just moving along as the Panthers offense continues to move down the field.
Vickers up to the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, hands off to Grady Flynn, trying to get to the sideline, has blockers in front, but gets tackled. One of those blockers actually missed his block, or it might have been another touchdown. Run out of bounds about a yard short of the first down.
The refs real stingy on that mark.
It was. They usually give them a little bit more. There's a Liberty Hill's going to call a timeout. There's 1:04 left to go into halftime, and you know that Ethan Minix is over there warming that leg up, ready for a field goal attempt if need be.
And again, that goes back to what I was talking about the passes. It's nice to get the team out, run a play. We know how important field goals are. Minix did have a few. They got a bad hold and snap. We missed one at the beginning of the game here, so maybe good to get them out. They'll want to put 7 on the board, obviously.
They absolutely do, but they're not going to be afraid to bring out the field goal unit, give him a shot if need be.
Liberty Hill possession, 3rd down, 2 yards to go at the Chargers 17.
3rd and 2. Handoff left-hand side, cut back inside is to Noah Long. He gets the first down at the 10. Actually going to mark him, looks like short of the 10. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 11.
Liberty Hill possession, 1st down, 10 yards to go inside the 11.
Snap, handoff left-hand side to, again, Noah Long. Not much there. They were keying on him there. He gets across the 10, maybe a pickup of 2 yards. Give a shout out to my buddy Chris Thompson down in North Padre Island. His son, Blake Thompson, was a quarterback here at one time also for the Panthers. Handoff right inside to Grady Flynn. He's in a race towards the sideline. 2 flags are thrown. This one's coming back.
They're all coming out.
It was a touchdown run, but this one is definitely coming back. Whatever it is, every official saw it.
Jackson Harrison and Julius Osborne standing in the middle of the field celebrating with their hands in the air, only to be hit with flags at their feet. Oh, they got all 3. They got all 3 flags within 3 yards of them.
It's holding. It's going to come back after a touchdown run from Grady Flynn. Has measured off back to the 18-yard line. Now it is 2nd and 18 yards for the first down. Handoff to Pitchford. He gets it, throws it downfield in the end zone. Incomplete. 12 seconds left. I think we're fixing to see the field goal unit, Greg. They may do one more shot, but
I'm just glad to see the pass, Tim. Love to see. Good play call there, Coach. Good play call.
You were getting up out of your seat. You were getting excited. Plays coming in. I think they're going to do one more play. It's 3rd down. They're going to take another shot at the end zone. Vickers under center. Takes a snap. Inside handoff to Noah Long. He's still on his feet across the 10, down to the 8. They're going to call a timeout, their last one, as they get inside the 10. And for sure, that's what we'll see. We'll see the field goal unit come onto the field. But it was a timeout, so I'm going to talk it over here for a minute. It's 27-7 in favor of Liberty Hill. 2 seconds left to go until halftime. Liberty Hill has the ball at the 8 on 4th down. So we'll see Ethan Minix out to attempt this field goal attempt. Greg, you got any score updates, or can you get us any here as we head into halftime?
Let's see if we can find. I'm sure we can find some score updates.
If you check Dave Campbell's Texas Football, they're going to tell you what the final is of this game.
I mean, they have it at 27-7. right now, as we're looking through some of the scores, trying to find some that are in the district or in the side of the bracket.
Will be a 25-yard field goal attempt by Minix. Snaps back. The kick is up. And it's good. And he kicks the 25-yard field goal to put the Panthers up 30-7 as we head into halftime. Panthers do a workmanlike first half performance with only a few minutes warming up with their equipment because the equipment truck was delayed getting to the game, Greg. It didn't matter.
No, it didn't.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter. Did not matter at all. The Panthers just came out and were just firing on all cylinders.
Yep.
From the absolute get, they played gangbusters on D. The choice for Boerne Champion to decide to drop a safety out was, just the coaches decided to possibly try to outsmart the Panthers or out-scheme the wing T. And Tim, you're right. They've been running this offense for the better part of a century. And so you'd have to think that if you went back in time, you would see some different some different defenses that maybe could scheme against the wing T, but you can't. It's Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's, right? Like, it's the guys that make the plays against this football team that when we see Liberty Hill struggle, it's because of the athletes. It's because of the not only the scheme but also the players that go out and make plays, which is what you have to do. And so Boerne Champion tried to get a little cute there with that high safety, and it just wrecked from the very first play when Noah Long took it 71 to the house.
They never look back after that first touchdown. They lead 30-7, and the second round of the playoffs, the half is in the book, 30-7, and the winner of this game moves on to the third round of the playoffs, trying to get to the state championship. Don't miss the UIL football state championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at the AT&T Center in Arlington, Texas. Ticket information and more information can be found at uiltexas.org.
Boerne up 28-14 over Corpus Christi Miller, in case you were wondering about how Boerne was doing. You may have said their name a few times during the first half. So they're winning. They're having a pretty good game. Leander Rouse, most likely the opponent of the Liberty Hill Panthers in the next round. They're up 38-13 over Floresville. That one probably out of reach for Floresville at this point in time. Marble Falls still winning against Mission Veterans Memorial, 21-7 at the half. So interesting to keep eyes on that one. Argyle 17-0 over Cannondale. Austin LBJ 35-28 over Port Lavaca. Some scores from around the area, but again, the most important one for these Panthers is going to be who they're going to face next. Thinking this one's probably pretty much in the books.
Yeah, and folks, we're going to take a break here at halftime, and you can listen to the band's performances here at halftime. Liberty Hill leads 30-7 here at the half of Dub Farah Stadium here in San Antonio. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Sports.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Vype Live, formerly KMAX Sports, one of the largest broadcast networks in Texas and the nation.
Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
Vype is the leader in high school sports broadcasts. We've been doing it for 15 years.
13, again, another reverse. Breaking tackles, dives to the end zone. Touchdown, Rangers.
16 seconds, really close at the corner. Rotates to Wilson, she fires the three. Oh my God, it went in! Cavaliers pull ahead by one!
Log on to Vype, VYPE.com.
Are you worried how 2020 has impacted your teen's social development? We are too. Want to know what might help? Participating in the performing arts in high school. It's been hard being a teenager recently. Hard to cope, hard to keep up, hard not to feel like you're missing out. Everything's different and nobody knows what's next. Encouraging your son or daughter to participate in performing arts can really help. Those are high school activities like band, orchestra, choir, theater, speech, and debate. They'll make new friends, develop confidence, and feel the satisfaction of being part of a team. Participation in the performing arts aren't a cure-all, and they certainly won't make the pandemic go away, but they will make the teenagers in your family feel like they're part of something special. This message presented by the NFHS and the Texas University Interscholastic League.
Hey buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to Vype, VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what Vype is saying about your great community. See for yourself why Vype is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at Vype, VYPE.com.
The band will perform a favorite, Hey Baby. And now the band will perform Land of a Thousand Dances. The Liberty Hill High School Panther Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2021-2022 Champion Charms Dance and Drill Team. Drill team officers for this year are Brooke Castellon, Lindsay Castellon, Peyton McElroy, Tabitha Wilkie. For this year are Lieutenant Abby Blackman, Lieutenant Abby Dill, Lieutenant Anna Garcia, Lieutenant Colonel Cambry Beavers, Lieutenant Colonel Abby Caudell, Lieutenant Colonel Anna Sabine, and Colonel Maddie Young. Champion Charm of the Week, Sophie Grace Schultz. Please welcome the Charms as they perform to "We Dropped a Bomb on You." The champion chomps director is Miss Ashton Kidd, and assistant director is Mrs. Belinda Garcia. Managers trainers are Cassie Moore, Natalie McLean, Maribel Romero, Anna Smolin, and Caitlin Henry. Chomps would like to wish Mrs. Belinda Garcia a happy birthday. And now, taking the field is the award-winning Brother Champion Charger Band. The band is under the direction of Jason Ross and assisted by Matt Hale, Brian Gregory, Daniel DeSalis, Chelsea Martinez, and Patillo Tristan. The Charger Band appreciates the incredible support from BISD Coordinator of Fine Arts, Mr. Ken Peach, Champion High School Principal, Mr. Bill Daniels, BISD Superintendent, Dr. Thomas Price, BISD School Board, and our Champion Charger Band Booster Organization. A special thanks to our sponsors, Insera GMC, Schneider Engineering, and Legacy Broken Group. The band is under the field direction of drum majors Jacqueline Navarez, Rachel Ecker, Austin Skiba, and Lauren Woodall. The CHS section of the game is the best band, booster, and wranglers in the state of Texas. The CHS band member of the game is Landon Schwartz. The CHS band person of the game is Chris Laws. The Champion Charger Band would like to thank our United States military veterans for their service to our country. Thank you for protecting our freedoms. We dedicate this performance to all of our veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, the Champion Charger Band.
Hey, Greg. What you doing, Greg?
Thank you all for your support. Let's get live for the second half and go Chargers!
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Texas.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Baby. Tim Dean back here with Greg Cerruti. Greg, I bet you've cut some moves to this song before.
A few times, long time ago.
We were having a conversation at work today. When was the last time you did the Macarena?
Recently.
Really?
My young daughter loves the Macarena, so
that
recently. How about that?
I had some employees did the same thing, said they had just done it recently, and that just sort of floored me. Back here, start of the second half, Liberty Hill leads 30-7 as we start. Boerne Champion kicking off to Liberty Hill, who won the toss, deferred to the second half, and they're going to get the ball to start this second half. Caught at the 22-yard line. Carter Hudson, flag on the play already. Hudson breaks it open across the 40, midfield, down the sideline for a race. Knocked out of bounds about the 25. I believe it's coming back. There are 2 flags back at the 27-yard line. Exactly the same location. And that's going to be the case. I could tell by the body language.
Great return by Rocket Hudson, though. Folks, if you're just joining us, Panthers up 30-7 at the half. It's been all Panthers. The score does not indicate how much domination is happening on the Panther side of the ball. They've just been playing about as well as they can.
And one of the big storylines of this game is quarterback senior Carson Kaiser for Boerne Champion was injured in the first half, and he has exited the game. He's on crutches on the sideline. Hope his recovery goes well. First play for Liberty Hill, tosses to Noah Long. It's across the 20 to the 22-yard line, a pickup of 4 yards on first down.
Noah Long on the carry, stopped by Cole Kennedy.
And going to remind everybody of the shout-out email line, lhfootball21@yahoo.com. I know you're not emailing me Logan Dyer clan, but I know you're out there. Hand off again to Noah Long. No gain on the play. One of the few times that Liberty has been held to no gain. Bring up third down. Maybe a yard, though. They spot him.
A lot of clans out there not shouting out, but it's good to know that they're listening. We get to see the numbers, so it's fun to play with it.
Miss you, Logan Dyer family. I do miss you tonight. I understand, and but I do miss your shout-outs tonight, and I know you're listening.
Speaking of, give it to him.
And that's actually Pitchford on the carry, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage, bring up fourth down. And, Greg, the Boerne Champion defense holds 4th and 4. The Panthers are going to be forced to punt.
Some adjustments there. Again, look good to see the 2 safeties. They brought it up there. I just like to see the defense evolving. I think coaches just got a little too cute there in the first half. Now they try to go to a little more of a standard defensive fare against these Panthers, and they have success on the first defensive possession of the game.
Snaps back. Thomas punts it. Boots a great punt. Bounces at the 25. Takes a Liberty Hill bounce. Goes out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
Wow, what a punt. Talk about flipping the field and then some. Great punt by All-State middle linebacker Andon Thomas.
About a 50-yard punt. And the Boerne Champion offense will come out on the field at the 14. Greg, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a situation for Boerne Champion. Again, I'm not trying to paint a rosy picture, but if they were to go down, sustain a drive, get down and get back on the board and cut this lead in half and try to get momentum and stop Liberty Hill again, we could have a game. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jordan Ballin is the quarterback, throws it out to the left complete, and it is going to be tackled immediately by Carlton Schrank for a loss of a yard on the play.
Never over till it's over. Absolutely right. And you like to see these. You're getting into the Sweet 16 in this bracket, right? All these teams are going to be good. They're going to fight. They're going to fight hard till the end.
2nd 11, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Snaps back, roll out to the left-hand side as Ballin throws it out, and it's complete across the 20 to the 25-yard line, enough for a first down and move the chains for the Chargers.
I just love that play just because it's so hard to defend at any level. You see it on Sundays, you see it on Saturdays, and it is a nightmare for a cornerback to try to read that break and cover that out pattern.
1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Ballin throws it out. Short gain to Ryan Brandon, a completion of 3 yards.
And so that's what you do. You hit him short, then you pump and go. You knock one off long. We haven't seen Ballin throw it down the field too far just yet. Probably looking to try to exploit something here sooner than later.
2 receivers again to the left, 1 to the right. Ryan Brandon's off to the left. Handoff right up the middle. Pickup of a couple yards, but hit hard is Rodriguez.
Good hard run by Rodriguez, but Aaron Brewer came up and lowered the boom.
3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down play for the Chargers. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Brandon's out wide to the right-hand side. Let's keep an eye on him. Ballin takes the snap. Going to run it himself. It's just a design quarterback run. He gets the first down, run out of bounds about the 37-yard line.
Much more fleet of foot than Carson Kaiser is Jordan Ballin. He is just, can move his legs and make guys miss. Kaiser looks to pass first. Ballin really kind of tucks it and tried to run, but as Tim said, that was a designed run play there, and Ballin picks up the first down.
First down at the Liberty Hill 38-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ballin at quarterback, man in motion, making it twins to the left-hand side. Takes a snap, hands it off to Rodriguez up the middle. No gain on the play as the defense was ready for that one.
Drake Torno grabbed him and threw him back a few yards. Tried to see if he could make these refs not give him the full length of that run, but they did. Generous spot.
2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line of the Chargers. 8 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Liberty Hill leads 30-7. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, snaps back for Ballin. He looks left, now back across the middle. Dances to the left-hand side, throws it downfield, incomplete pass. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
They heard the crowd. Boerne Champion crowd wanted Aiden Burrell to pick up a foul there, but he just playing some good hard defense on the sideline. 3rd and long.
Wow, look at the spot. Wait. They missed the spot. They're fixing it.
Tim, did they just try to move it forward 2 yards? Talk about an aggressive spot.
Wow. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ball's in the middle of the hashes. Ballin takes a snap, blitz on, run out of the pocket to the right-hand side, throws it short, incomplete pass, brings up 4th down, 4th and 10. The punting unit's going to come onto the field for the Chargers.
Devin Riley blitz off the right side, forcing Ballin to have to throw it a little bit sooner than he wanted. Even if he were to complete that pass, they weren't going to pick up the first down there. I don't even think they'd have given him enough to try to go for it. He was going to get tackled right at the sticks. Carter Hudson back, ready to pop one.
Now he goes back. The punt is away, and it's not a very good punt at all. It's going to hit the ground and only net 5 yards on the punt.
A 5-yard punt.
That'll bring your average down.
I think you could punt it farther than 5 yards.
Not every time.
I think you could run out there right now. You'd punt it farther than 5 yards.
Yes, but I might pull a hammy.
There's no doubt, but I think we'd get at least 10. I think we'd get at least 10. Oh, he tried to kick it hard, folks. He just kicked it straight up in the air, and that's tough. Tough break there for – you don't want to give Liberty Hill the ball on their side of the 50, but that's exactly what's happened.
Handoff to the right-hand side. Noah Long picks up a tough 7 yards. Greg, it's amazing at the maturity or the development of Noah Long throughout the season running the ball. At the beginning, he looked timid. He wasn't running downhill. And what a completely different ball player that he's turned into right now. 2nd and 3. Inside handoff to Grady Flynn. Picks up the first down and more. Gets to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 12.
Now, let me ask you this. When you talk about the evolution of players on Liberty Hill, what about the offensive line from the first game to here? And then how much does that impact the other guys? Right?
It was a train wreck the first game of the season.
12-7 loss.
Train wreck. Yeah. The penalties, like crazy. Logan Dyer on the carry, but it's coming back, a flag on the play.
And for years, there's monoliths with state titles at the, back home in Liberty Hill, and you say, you put a lot of that granite on the backs of those linemen, right? And when this team is doing well, it's because of the linemen. You can pluck any receiver or running back and stick him in there, and man, he's going to have a great game because these guys go. And Tim, you're right. That first game, it was not good, but here they are in this game right here, clicking and firing on all cylinders. This offense looks like a totally different team from the beginning of the year.
1st and 15 after the 5-yard mark off. Handoff Noah long left-hand side. Tough yards. Picks up 5 of it back. Gets to the 25-yard line, maybe the 24.
23-point lead right here. So, you're still only up 3 scores, technically, if you talk about getting some 2 points. So, Ethan Minix within Ethan Minix range, which is always nice.
2nd and 9 for the Panther offense. Handoff right-hand side. Grady Flynn gets to the side, gets across the 20, the 15, cuts it back up, then back out. Finally knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Great run by Flynn.
Good hard run, good hard blocking by Gavin Salinas out there, along with Logan Dyer, along with number 16, Reese Vickers. They all got out in front there and led the way for Grady Flynn, who almost had his 2nd touchdown of the game.
1st and goal for the Panthers. Right-hand hash. Vickers under center. Takes the snap. Flags on the play. There's movement. They're going to back it up 5. It'll be 1st and goal from the 10. And Grady Flynn is the one that gets called for the jump.
Hudson Stillwell, Jackson Harrison, Chance Pogue, along with Julius Osborne, Philip Gaunt.
1st and goal. Handoff Grady Flynn going to the left side.
Oh, he's got blockers. He's
going to get in the end zone. Grady Flynn for a touchdown. 10 yards out, untouched.
No long. Gavin Salinas, Logan Dyer led the way, blocking for their brother. Kept him unscathed. That white uniform, no turf on it on that run. Panthers up 36-7. Minix relegated to kick for just 1.
$36-7, pending the PAT attempt. Snaps back. Kick is up. And Minix puts it through to extend the Liberty Hill lead to 37-7 with 5 minutes left to go until the end of the 3rd quarter.
Panthers with another great drive there. Up 37-7, 30 points clear here in the 3rd quarter. Some halftime scores. Wimberley up 38-0 over Ingleside. Gilmer 43-24 over Caddo Mills.
We called a few Gilmer games.
We did call one significant.
Stump
Godfrey hurt his finger.
Was the quarterback
for Gilmer when Liberty Hill won their 2nd state championship back-to-back.
What a run we had.
That was a good one.
I'm still disappointed our name's not on that granite.
Gosh dang.
Man, I just...
They said you guys had
nothing to do with it. But there were millions of people got to hear the game.
Oh, my goodness.
Hear Liberty Hill win that 2nd state championship. The kickoff is up in the air, caught about the 18-yard line. Bernie Champion running it back. Gets tackled at the 29-yard line. That's where Champion will start this drive. 5 minutes again left to go in the 3rd quarter of play.
Fort Bend Hightower 45, Georgetown 29. Looks like the Eagles are going to end their season. Katy Paetow, P-A-E-T-O-W. Is that how am I pronouncing that right? Paetow over Manor.
Yeah.
44-18. Pflugerville Weiss losing to Manville 24-41.
2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ball still in at quarterback. Man in motion now going to the left. Snaps back. Quarterback's going to throw it out in the flat on the left-hand side. Not much there. A gain of 1 to 2 yards. Great play by Carter Hudson.
Fully engaged with Ryan Brandon was Carter Hudson as he came up to try to make the tackle.
2nd and 8. Ball's at the 31-yard line. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Rodriguez offset to the right side of the running back. Ball and rolls out to the left-hand side. Looks downfield, tucks it up, just steps out of bounds. May lose a yard and maybe loses 2 yards as he steps out of bounds.
I guarantee that these refs are going to move it up somehow. It's going to be right in the line of scrimmage.
They actually mark it back, Greg. They moved loss of 2 to bring up 3rd and 10.
Barely. This guy down here wanted to move it up. He's the one that moved it when it was a pass out of bounds.
3rd and 10 for the Chargers. Ball's on the left-hand hash. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball and takes the snap, looks left, now looks back to the right, rolling out to the right-hand side. Tucking himself, going to run out of bounds, and he's not going to pick up anything. Let's see where they marking. They're going to give him a yard.
Aaron Brewer just making sure that he's not going to get any more than that 1 yard. Good job by Aaron Brewer to pull up and not take a shot at a quarterback running out of bounds, which so many defenders like to do. He easily could have gotten a cheap shot in there, but he, wisely held up, and Panthers get the ball.
Not yet. 4th down. There's a formality of the punt that has to happen here, Greg. Snaps back. Punt is away. Really good punt. Hudson tries to catch it, loses it, picks it back up, gets tackled immediately, and he is down at the 30-yard line.
Carter Hudson doesn't get enough opportunities to get the ball. And when he does, dang it, you just want to see him get loose. He started the game off with a heck of a run back that got called back. And folks, all season long, the Panthers get a lot of punts, but they just won't punt towards Carter Hudson because of how dangerous he is.
Panthers get the ball back at their own 30-yard line, 70 yards away from the end zone, up 37-7 with 4 minutes left to go until the end of the 3rd quarter. That's where Liberty Hill will try to grind this out, keep the clock running, hand off to Noah Long. He bounces off one, couldn't get out of the grasp of multiple tacklers, pick up of 3 yards.
And now you see both safeties up in the familiar Liberty Hill defense that they play. You see them within 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Both safeties now rolled up to try to stop the run, daring Liberty Hill to pass, knowing they're up 30 points. They're not going to put it in the air, so
no way.
They are putting everybody up in the box to try to stop the run.
Vickers hands off to Pitchford, left-hand side. He gets to the sideline, down the sideline, close to a 1st down. Let's see where they mark him. I think they're going to give him the first pickup of 7 or 8 yards, getting across the 40 to the 41, moving the chains.
I like that it is a all-encompassing referee decision tonight to just give the favorable spots for both teams. It has been even across the board. It has just been
I think the favorable spots have netted both teams a total of like 57 yards.
At least.
And flags are thrown. I think this is going to back up Liberty Hill.
He said number 4, Aiden Burrell. Aiden Burrell got called for the penalty there. He's like, man, I'm not even playing offense, coach. He did correct it.
All right, 1st and 15. Ball's backed up to the 36. Hand off to Noah Long up the middle. Gets some of it back. He's going to get 7 of those yards back to the 43. Bring up 2nd and 8. See if we see Grady Flynn get the ball again, who's really run hard. Picked up some good yards so far this evening. Inside handoff to Noah Long. He's still on his feet across the 50, across the 45, the 40, and tackled at the 39-yard line. A good run by Noah Long, moving the chains again.
One of the best players on the field tonight, number 21, sophomore Noah Long. Just having an all-around great ball game, hanging on to the ball, and like Tim said, lowering his shoulder, being aggressive, running hard. Another first down run for Long, and the Panthers moving the ball again.
Pitch left side to Pitchford. He picks up a good, hard 6 yards on the carry to the 33-yard line.
And this is, I think what's happening right now is exactly what this coaching staff from Boerne Champion didn't want to see, is them to be in this defense and these 6, 5, 7, 6, 5, 7, these yards, these runs that come up and just eat away at the clock and eat away at your defense and just frustrate your ability not to stop this. And so they tried to throw something at them that maybe they hadn't seen, or maybe give it a different wrinkle, and it just didn't even affect. Liberty Hill has not been bothered by anything tonight. The flat tire, the high safety, nothing, Tim, nothing. They've just been playing about as good as they can.
Noah Long gets another run, gets 1 yard from picking up another first down.
And I jinxed him.
And Liberty Hill now picks up a false start.
Not too many penalties tonight on offense for the Panthers.
Devin Riley gets called for the jump. That's what I think, but I'm trying to see if Devin's even on the field.
It was none. I believe that was Julius Osborne on the right side, tried to get off.
Okay. I heard a 7 in there, and I don't see
Aiden Burrell and Devin Riley are like, we're not even playing. We're getting called for fouls.
Jose De La Cruz brings the play in from the sideline. Here we go, 3rd and 6 for the Panthers at the 35. Keeper by Vickers, a rare keeper, pickup of a couple of yards. That'll bring up 4th down, a little outside field goal range.
30,
so they're just going to go for it, try to pick up the first down. I tell you, Minnick say, let me try.
He's at 50. He'd love to run.
I know he would. Here we go. 4th down and 4. Handoff to Pitchford, trying to get to the sideline. Cuts it up. Going to be brought down. A couple of yards short of the first down. Going to turn it over on downs. Back to Boerne. Good champion.
Good fill there on the right side. Linebacker Cole Kennedy, senior Cole Kennedy with the stick.
They're going to have the ball at the 32-yard line. 39 seconds left to start in this third quarter.
The Boerne Champion defense doing its job.
Ball's on the right-hand hash. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Snap back. Ball in straight quarterback run, right-hand side. He picks up a couple of yards. Let's see where they mark him. They're going to pick up a 3 to the 35. Those refs like staying on the hash marks. You know, they just don't like the 31, the 32. They don't like those numbers between 0 and 5.
They're just moving it 5 at a time.
Yeah, that's pretty much. They like to be on a full hash mark. 2nd and 7. Ball's on the right-hand side of the field. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball and takes a snap, rolls out to the right-hand side, throws it downfield, incomplete, trying for a short pass. And the difference with quarterbacks, Ballin is faster, but he's also not focused in on their number 1 receiver, Ryan Brandon. Brandon has rarely gotten a ball thrown to him by Ballin.
Well, just maybe that one down the field, you're right, and then they did that short one there. Both seniors, Brandon and Kaiser, so they've probably come up together, obviously, and are real familiar with one another. But this is the future of the Boerne Champion offense we're seeing right now with Ballin back there. You're going to see this for a few years.
Ballin takes a snap, empty backfield, under heavy pressure, throws it down, and incomplete pass. Good defense downfield, good pressure by the defensive front.
Aiden Burrell dives over the top as the pressure came in. Ballin trying to get out. He can evade the pocket much quicker than Kaiser can. He can get out into space, design an offense around Ballin, and it's going to be tough to stop this Charger offense next year.
4th down now. A punting team comes onto the field. Ball's at the 35-yard line. Carter Hudson back deep. He'd like to get another shot at it, but he's not. It was a short punt, and coaches want him to get away from it. Takes a Boerne champion bounce inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. And that's where the Panther offense will start. One more play until we have the end of the third quarter. Liberty Hill leads 37-7. Some yelling from the Boerne champion fans wanting the referees to call something. A little frustration right now setting in. We might need to play that UIL commercial again. What? That's why they play it.
That's why they do. That's
why they play that. And off right-hand side to Noah Long. He spins out of a tackle, still on his feet. Downfield, gets tackled at the 45. One of the best runs from Noah Long tonight.
He was tackled twice. He was down. He was tackled twice. He was down once. I don't know how he didn't go down. He contorted his body, got his hand down, got his balance underneath him, and picked up the first down. Solid run by 21. Like Tim said, maybe his best of the night.
Yep, and that's going to do it at the end of the third quarter. Liberty Hill leads 37-7. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the start of the fourth quarter here at Farrah Stadium here in San Antonio. You're listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Sports.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 826,000 high school student athletes in Texas have one last request.
Please set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Texas high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Start here the fourth quarter. The plays run Grady Flynn up the middle. Pickup of 6 yards by Grady Flynn. Another good hard run. Now it's second down for the Panthers. Pitch out left inside again. It's Flynn, and he picks up the first down, getting across the 45 to the 43. Another first down for Liberty Hill. A lot of first downs for the Panthers tonight, Greg.
Oh, they've just been moving the ball at will. This champion Charger defense cannot quite figure out what to do as far as stopping them. And, you know, they've been put behind the 8 ball. They knew they had to scheme something different. They had to do something different. Had to try to figure out a way to disrupt this Panther offense.
Hand off to Flynn again. Spins out of a tackle, still on his feet, gets tackled at the 40. They're going to spot him at the 39. Wow, another what I think is a generous spot again.
And believe me, if that high safety had worked, you're right, we would have seen it before. We'd have seen that defense played against the Panthers more than just the first half here tonight.
Second down and 6. Hand off to Noah Long, right-hand side. Cuts back inside across the 35. Tackled at the 34-yard line. Just a yard short of the first down.
Noah Long on carry. Liberty Hill possession.
Third and 1. Clock's ticking here in the fourth quarter. Panthers up 37-7. Play comes in from the sideline, and it comes in late because the Panthers want to run as much time off the clock in between plays. Inside handoff to Logan Dyer across the 30. First down for the Panthers. Gets to the 29-yard line. Good tough run by Dyer.
12 moves the sticks. Up the middle. Boerne just on its heels again. The Panthers all their hands on their hips. They got to be sucking some wind now here in the fourth quarter. But this is why they get in the gym and they train and they do what they have to do.
First down for the Panthers at the 29-yard line. Jackson Harrison, the center for the Panthers, up to the line of scrimmage. Vickers hands off to Dyer and plunges forward for a pickup of 3 yards. Brings up second down.
We will not see the pass anymore. They're done with that for the evening.
As much as you'd like to see it.
Oh, I'd love it. But what'd you say before? You're going to dance with the date you brought, right?
Dance with who brung you. Pitch left-hand side to Grady Flynn. Gets across the 20 to the 15. Still on his feet down to the 12-yard line is Flynn. A good run.
Good to see Grady Flynn continue what was, building upon what was his best game of the season last year. Senior Grady Flynn popping in that halfback spot and really making it happen.
8 minutes, 20 seconds left to go.
Basically on a running clock when the Panthers have the ball.
37-7 Panthers in the red zone. Hands off left-hand side. That is Logan Dyer for a touchdown.
12 yards for number 12. Put it on the board for 6. 43-7 the Panthers.
Glad to see him get it. He's been a workhorse tonight. He's had some of the toughest yards. He has always running between the tackles, most of the time between the guards.
That's his job. He wants to soften it up the middle.
Yep.
He's gonna punch it up the middle. The jab, the quick hitter. If we need 1 yard, if you need 2 yards, you're gonna give it to Dyer. He managed to break a tackle there and get to some open space and show that he can run like the other backs.
The point after is good by Minix, and he extends the lead to 44-7. With 8 minutes left to go until this game is over, Liberty Hill will hang on to this one for sure and advance next week to a familiar and local opponent.
Into the Sweet 16. Go the Panthers. And they will match up against Leander Rouse.
Yep. Rouse just a stone's throw away from Liberty Hill. And last year, Greg, if I'm not mistaken, we played that game at the Palace at Palmer. No, we played it at
Kelly Reeves.
No, did we play that at what's the Cedar Park stadium?
The Bible.
No.
Tim and I have called it a lot of stadiums, and sometimes our memory isn't that great. But they'll try to flip a coin for it. See if it takes. It was at Gupton. That's right.
We played at Gupton,
yes,
right there in Cedar Park.
Yes, sir.
Pooch kick by Ethan Minix off to the right-hand side, caught at the 25-yard line by the Chargers, and breaks out down the sideline. Ball's loose, out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
Jack Philpott with the tackle, popped the ball loose there. Marble Falls hanging on, and looks like they're gonna upset Mission Veterans Memorial there, 28-7 in the fourth quarter. Marble Falls on to the next round as well. They run a similar offense. A lot of their coaches came here from Liberty Hill. They're causing some fits there for Mission Veterans. Leander Rouse, 59.
Ooh.
Floresville, 19.
Ooh. Big matchup next week with Rouse. Snaps back. Ball and throws out to the right-hand side. That is to Brandon. He gets it complete. Down the sideline. It is off to the races. And it's going to be a Boerne champion touchdown for 56 yards.
That's all Ryan Brandon. Took the screen pass to the house. Ballin gave it to him. And Brandon made two guys miss. Followed his blockers down the side. He got himself another touchdown for the road. Great season for that senior wide receiver. Over 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns on the year, Tim. That's a pretty good season.
It is. Snaps back. The point after attempt is good. And Liberty Hill has its lead cut into some at 44-14.
Have to figure this is when we're going to see some of the backups come in, try to get some snaps for some of the other guys. This game pretty much well in hand. Maybe Coach Walker still brings the starters out just to keep them sharp.
Does he?
I don't know. They don't tell us anything, Tim. We're really not a part of that, so I don't know. We're going to see what they do. Coach Walker has been known to keep his guys in because, again, you're just trying to get them better, trying to get them reps, trying to get them looks.
And we should do that. I think you're right. I think we've seen the last of the starting offense. We shall see. I think Liberty Hill's expecting an onside kick.
No, a long back deep.
And a lot of hands.
The hands team out.
Greg, were you on the hands team?
Of course I was, Tim.
Here we go. Let's see if it's an onside kick or they just decided to kick it. They are. They're just going to kick it, boot it to the right. It goes out of bounds.
Oh! Almost perfect kick. Stop right on the sideline.
And Liberty Hill will start this next drive at their own 27-yard line. 7 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in this game. Actually, 32-yard line.
Augustus Gutierrez, I see out there. Jackson Stillwell out there. Gavin Salinas is gonna start. So a few guys.
Logan Dyer's
there.
out there.
Dyer's still out there.
We shall see. Jackson Harrison still in at center, so the first unit, or most of them, still out there. Hand off left-hand side. And hit immediately. Gain of maybe 1 or 2 yards.
That's
is
Salinas.
Gavin Salinas.
I think that Noah Long
out.
Grady Flynn's night are going to be over.
Yep,
And
so we got Salinas and Logan Dyer, and it looks like...
Is it Pitchford still?
I do not see Pitchford. I can't see who the third running back... No, you know what? Grady Flynn is still in the game. Grady Flynn is still in the game. And that's him that has the ball right now. Good hard run. Picks up another first down for Liberty Hill. Gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line. 43, enough to move the chains for another Liberty Hill first down.
It is Dyer, Pitchford, and Flynn. So, yeah, pretty much the first team, except for Noah Long. Gavin Salinas out there still as well. Reese Vickers under center.
Ball's at the 42. 6.5 minutes left to go in this game. Ball's on the left-hand hash. Pitchford.
Oh, no, it is Pitchford.
Running down the sideline, gets across midfield, across the 40, run out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Moving the chains, but stopping the clock because he ran out of bounds. I'm sure Coach would rather him stayed in bounds.
He did pick up the first, though. Great fake by Pitchford to get out into space.
Play is coming in from the sideline. Will Gatlin brings the play in. Offensive line up to the line of scrimmage. Pitchford takes the snap, hands off left-hand side to Flynn. Nope, that was Logan Dyer. Pick up of 4 yards on first down. Ball's now on the 32-yard line. Left-hand hash. Just under 6 minutes left to play in this game. Plays. Was coming in from the sideline. Now it's changed. He had to run back, get a different play from Coach. You think he's bringing in a pass play, Greg?
Absolutely not.
Second down and 6. Mix-up. Pitchford gets run into by a running back and just has to run it himself. Picks up 2 yards. A little mix-up in the backfield. Pitchford turned one way and a running back ran into him, so somebody was in the wrong spot.
It was not Pitchford.
Usually the center gets blamed.
It was always the offensive lineman's fault.
There wasn't even a lineman involved, Greg.
For sure he must have made a wrong call or something. Sometimes linemen like to make calls. What is it that you call? The line call or something?
Omaha. Hand off to Grady Salinas, and he is going to be close to the first down. Be short, bring up fourth down on less than a yard, and I know they're going to go for it. They're not going to put their kicking field goal unit out there, although I'd love to see Ethan Minix try it. But I'm pretty confident they can pick up this yard. I bet they call a timeout, Greg. Well, no, they're not. Plays coming in from the sideline from Heath Harris. Up the line of scrimmage, look for maybe Logan Dyer to pick this one up. Nope, they give it to Salinas, and he picks up the first down. Actually, no, it was Logan Dyer. Second guy through, and he gets the first down.
Good run behind Salinas there.
It was. It was a weird development of play, and it worked its way for a first down. 4 minutes left to go in this game. Liberty Hill is going to be moving on to the third round of the playoffs, setting themselves up for another deep run into the playoffs. Pitchford hands off to Logan Dyer this time. He gets across the 20 to the 18-yard line. 4 tough yards for Dyer. Glad to see him getting his carries tonight.
And a touchdown?
Yeah, and Logan Dyer's a junior. We're going to see him featured a lot next year, along again with Noah Long.
And Joe Pitchford.
That's true. Most of the
Reese
backfield.
Vickers as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the line.
3 of the 5 starting linemen tonight will be back. Here we go, 2nd and 6. And Pitcher's going to keep it himself, get to the sideline, get across the 15 to the 10, run out of bounds about the 5. Let's see if they mark him down at the 6. Be a 1st and goal for the Panthers.
I think he heard you. At about the 10-yard line, he was going to go out of bounds. He decided to cut it upfield, made a nice little move there, picked up about 3 or 4 more. Well, he picked up 1 or 2 more. With this referee crew, it's 3 or 4.
Sure.
So they pushed him forward a little bit there. Man, I wish I had these refs when I played. I'd had so many
extra yards.
So many more yards.
1st and goal from the 6-yard line. Pitchford under center, takes the snap, hands it off to Logan Dyer, and he gets stopped at the 1. Very close to another touchdown. Bring up 2nd and goal from the 1. Give him the rock.
And now you play who gets the touchdown for the Panthers. Dyer's had himself one. Salinas has not seen the end zone tonight.
And 2nd and goal. They've all scored a touchdown, haven't they?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not Salinas, though. Another indecision here by the Panthers.
Yeah, they're changing the play.
Called the play, then
called him back.
Recalled it.
Send him back out there with a different play call. Here we go. Let's see who's going to get the ball. 2:20 left to go in this game. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. And it's going to be a quarterback sneak by Pitchford, and he lunges forward, and they have not called it. Now they do.
There it is.
How anti-dramatic that was. And it's a touchdown by Pitchford on a quarterback sneak. And really, is it called a sneak when you know he's carrying it?
I don't think so. I think that's just a quarterback plunge, maybe you'd call it. That's a keeper.
Quarterback, yeah, I don't know if I call it a keeper, but a touchdown by Liberty Hill nonetheless, getting their point total to the big 5-0. Greg, are you at the 5-0 yet in your age?
Not just yet. Not just yet.
Are you creeping closer?
I'm an extra point away.
Here we go. Here's that extra point. Oh, we got a different kicker.
Connor Hawkins
boots it in, gets some action. Hawkins is a great kicker himself. Puts it in and extends the lead.
I want to say that
51-14.
I want to say that I was on Twitter over the weekend.
Are you in
Sometimes
the
I
Twitterverse?
tweet.
Yeah.
And I saw something that Connor Hawkins had retweeted because I follow the Liberty Hill.
Sure.
Some of the Liberty Hill Panthers. I also saw the Booster Club or the football
right
on Liberty Hill there. And Connor Hawkins, the 19th ranked kicking recruit in the state.
He doesn't even start.
How about that?
Wow.
How about that?
19th.
That's what it said. It was from a prominent kicking camp, and again, this is
KickingGurus.com.
Kicking Gurus, Kickopotamus. I don't know. It was a kicking
Kickstarter,
maybe a Kickstarter. But I tell you what, talking about Kickstarters, the Panthers have a nice run of them. You've heard us talk about it, the vein of kickers.
Oh my gosh,
coming out of Liberty Hill. And
who would have thought that Liberty Hill would be kicker you?
Nobody.
I mean, yeah.
Nobody. Wing tee and kickers.
Yes, known for wing tee and kickers. Kickoff is a small
balls
pooch
on the ground. Balls on the ground.
Falling on the 30-yard line. 2 minutes left to go in this game. And Boerne Champion will get one last shot, trying to get it into the end zone, down 51-14. Liberty Hill on a date with Leander Rouse next week. And it's safe to say, pretty safe to say, that the game will be close to me.
The day after Thanksgiving as well, or will it be on a Saturday?
Nah, it's Friday. These guys want to stay in routine, for the most part. So I expect the game to be played on Friday.
We are getting into the Sweet 16, so Saturday games become a.
It does.
They start to get on the playbooks there.
Handoff up the middle. That is not Rodriguez. This is a different running back this time. Let's see what his number is. So
Jacob Rosensteel.
That is.
Is that right?
32, Colin Ryan.
Wow, I was nowhere near it.
No, it looked the same. It's pronounced Colin Ryan. Ryan.
I had the two right in the number.
You did. 2nd and 7. Snaps back to ball and he hands off to Ryan again. Cuts it up. Gets hit immediately.
Great tackle by Joseph Ramon.
It was.
He met him just past the line of scrimmage and stood him straight up.
Good tackle by Ramon. That was good. Hit him hard. His backup defenders now getting in on the action. Snaps back the ball and he hands it up the middle to Ryan. He gets hit with no gain and a good gang tackle by the Panther defense led by Ramon again.
Along with Tanner Kearley in on the tackle.
Nice.
David Morris as well from the linebacker position.
And, Boerne Champion's not even throwing the ball. They're just running it, and during the clock, it's 30 seconds left. One more play, and more than likely the game is over. But, quarterback's just going to run it right up the middle. Ballin has a first down, move the chains, but that's going to put the clock in motion, and we may not even get another playoff, Greg. I don't think we're getting another playoff, but they're making some changes, trying to get some players in the game, but that's not going to happen. And the game is over, Greg. 51-14. Liberty Hill moves on to the third round of the playoffs. And against Leander Rouse, another opponent they met in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, like you said, it's exactly like the path was last year. The game's lining out identical, and hopefully you have the same look through the first 3 rounds. These Panthers team tonight just overmatched this champion team. We were concerned possibly before the game that the routine was off.
Yep.
That they weren't going to be able to get running and do the right thing. But I tell you what, hats off to this Panthers coaching staff to just have them ready, keep them in the right state of mind, and avoid the trees and ski down the mountain to a victory.
And that they did, Greg. That they did. They came through. It looked like they've got through healthy. Did really good job. Played good defense. Their offense was clicking on what they say all cylinders. Did really good. All the running backs did fantastic this evening, and all the carries and mixing it all up, and did a super job. So Liberty Hill is going to move on to the third round of the playoffs, facing Leander Rouse, who won big tonight, and it's going to be another big contest in more than likely the Cedar Park area. Like I said, last year we played the game at the stadium there in Cedar Park at Gupton Stadium, and we're suggesting that it might be there. Don't know. It could be somewhere else, but but that could be a repeat location as well. So we're not going to do a long post game, as we've talked about this team enough tonight. They've done a lot of positives, not a lot of negatives in this game, Greg, for them to look at. Extra point was missed. It caused the prediction from Dave Campbell's to be incorrect.
That would have been really one of the most exciting things that would have happened tonight for us, besides the huge win by these Panthers. Had that prediction come through, that would have been pretty cool. But I tell you what, these Panthers looked great, and ready to pick it up and see if they can keep it rolling next round.
Here we go, Greg. Another round of playoffs next week. You and I will be back to call it for next week. Everybody, Liberty Hill wins 51-14. Great game for the Panthers, and let's pack the stadium next week, but you can still tune in and listen to Greg and myself call the game. Thank you, everybody, for listening to our broadcast. You've been listening to Liberty Hill Football on Vype Sports. See ya.